Hello, everyone. Welcome to whatever this is, and it's
Mom Productions.
definitely not a podcast. Just because of the idea that everyone is making a podcast, and this is not a podcast. I don't have a fucking a mic or anything like that, nor an audience, nor another person to talk to, and maybe those things are because I am financially not well to do that, but I do have a phone and I do have a camera and a light that is probably destroying the glare and therefore ruining this video. So, but it's fine because I'm actually just blind. There's this misconception, right, when you are trying to do anything in life, and it is that whether you're an entrepreneur, any creator of some sort, or anything related to something that doesn't just come with academia or success, that takes a while, whether that is like a dancer or a choreographer, a lot of creative endeavors and so forth, so on. You need this specific thing, right? An idea that's gonna come into your head and then like blow up, and it's gonna make you suddenly known, right? You will create the next Stanley, or you will create the Scrub Daddy, and that is innovation, right? That is imagination, innovation taking place within a very special person that was meant to do this. Whether that is all these other apps that we also kind of consume from, that is kind of the idea. But in university, I learned that there is a concept that is innovation by iteration, right? And so you allow yourself to iterate on other ideas in order to innovate. And I would give some examples, but for the sake of me not remember any of them right now, I won't. But I guess the Scrub Daddy is like a decent choice, right? I mean, how many of you had a sponge before, but then he creates a sponge and it changes and whatever, I'm not too versed on the Scrub Daddy, business aspect of it, but you can see it's not really that much of an invention, but then it is, and it creates innovation and everything. And so here I am recording a video, and I think I think I'm gonna dislike this video for myself, because it feels like sort of pitiful for me, but I don't think I also feel that way. So it's slightly confusing, if I'm completely honest. Sitting down and thinking that I don't necessarily have anything to create that feels so authentically new and me, right? Even as I write this or speak into the camera right now, I'm like, this is not a podcast, or this is not something that anyone else has done before, when in reality, let's face it, I mean, this fake background and this me and the camera and everything, I mean, how has it not been done before? And even every single sentence that I'm saying right now, it's been so done, so outdated, right? I mean, there's books on this. I mean, I studied it in uni for a reason. And this kind of brings me to my next topic, right? When it comes to then now creating something like this. And then, so the whole idea here is like, oh my God, but my personality, I am so unique and so innovative, and the jokes that I'll make, they'll all be worth it for this, or I will create some sort of value into this. And I'm not entirely sure whether I agree or disagree with it. Obviously, people go successful, or they gain notoriety from doing this sort of things, right? I mean, we have people like Hank Green, or is it Hank or John Green? No, John Green's the writer. Hank Green is the whatever. But to me, and at least I think I kind of hit this on the one before, there's a slight difference between sort of regurgitating information and creating new ideas. But then that's the whole thing, right? Which circles back to the beginning. I mean, you really can't create just genuinely authentic ideas or new ideas. And also, even if you did, the ideas could become dangerous or misinformed, because you are in some sort of way trying to create such an innovative idea that then you allow yourself to be misguided and think that anything that you might think it's true. And so that's why we have a bunch of conspiracy theorists, right, in our communities, where they're like, oh, well, but this is that, and this happened because of this, and right, not so necessarily political, but also just Mandela effects and people from other universes and space and everything. And I'm not saying these things aren't true, okay? I'm not sitting here being like, oh my god, like aliens are not real, or etc., etc. But I am saying slightly conspiratorial. I mean, I think we can all really agree on that's kind of the idea that follows this, and all of it, because a lot of the time there's some sort of want of genuinity or originality that kind of follows this thing. But then you kind of do get into this sort of crossfire of, well, are my ideas unique if they're informed, and then, or are they not because I'm just regurgitating or summarizing a research paper, or making something more consumable, right? I mean, researchers are famous for not being able to do something or write something that the general public would understand. Not that they're literally writing it for the general public. They're not. They're writing this for other researchers that if they didn't see this written in that way, then they would probably go insane and think and maybe defy the validity of the person who's making those claims. And also sometimes they kind of just lack the tact of being able to do that. The same way that a writer describes something, but then the illustrator is the one that brings it up to life, hitting two different audiences. And I'm in kind of that aspect right now in my life where I'm sitting here now and I am providing information of things that I've read, of ideas that I've had, and regurgitating or explaining them and claiming them in some sort of ideally unique way that isn't unique at all. And I expect some sort of success from it. But not only is the expectation of success, which is, I think, one of those, I don't think that, but it's also, how can I then become so original, right? When, I mean, I'm not a researcher. I mean, I could become an ethnographic, let's say, video web show or anything like that. For me, it's kind of hard to think about what to film or what to do when it just seems like everything has been done before. And I think a lot of artists kind of go through this, and I'm not necessarily going to call myself an artist, even though I do put pen to paper every once in a while, if not every night. But I do think that creatives in general have this sort of idea that they want to be so special and so unique. And that is something that I've necessarily been introspecting in my life recently, because first of all, the need of uniqueness or the need of originality is kind of null when you really can't, and also when genuine success or innovation or creativity or ingenuity come from other things. Like I said, iteration, right? Iteration is the innovation of stuff. And so now I am here kind of iterating something that has been done before by millions of people, and also just kind of feeling good about it, and not necessarily like I am gonna save the world or like I'm creating anything that is brand new, but also just creating something that makes me feel good about myself. So I just kind of wanted to get out here and say some of those things, also because I had to film today, or I wanted to. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tiny conversation, this little quarrel that I was able to bring up to you guys. And yeah, I mean, have a good day, everyone, because I won't give you guys any way to find me because I'm slightly embarrassed and shy.